Yeah, let's do this Bolduc thing. So you remember Don Bolduc. He was the candidate that won in New Hampshire in the Republican primary there. He's going up against Maggie Hassan. And this was a potential pickup seat for Republicans. It still is. But the fact that Don Bolduc is the candidate is helpful because he's a lunatic. And this is one of those seats I think that he got, or at least, Democrats weighed in and did one of those classic, like yes. Don Bolduc, too conservative for New Hampshire.
Yeah, it was basically between him and one of the Senate Republican leadership in the State House, Chuck Morse, and Morse lost pretty handily to Bolduc in the primary.
And I agree with this strategy, right? I mean, I feel like we've said this on the program before.
Without doubt.
I mean, Maggie Hassan is not as popular as she should be. And so this was a potential vulnerability for them. And the best way to secure that with a not very strong incumbent is to have an extremist on the other side who also has no idea what the hell he's doing.
And New Hampshire has some lakes. It has some, a little tiny bit of oceanfront, tiny. But this guy apparently has never been on the water because he is rudderless. Let us show you where he was just like 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. Here he is on Fox describing what has happened in the month prior, from the time that he was running to the time that he wins. He's had an epiphany because he did some research.
Basically against Morse, the more establishment Republican candidate, because they were basically saying that you're so extreme that they think that you're more beatable. And one of the things that Maggie Hassan, the Senate incumbent, will say is that you are an election denier, that you deny that President Biden won the 2020 election. And there's this from August 14th when you had a debate. Watch here.
I signed a letter with 120 other generals and admirals saying that Trump won the election, and damn it, I stand by my election.
Do you stand by that today?
Pause it. We should just say that debate happened about 28 days before this. So you had 28 days.
Yeah.
I stand by it. Rock solid. Here we go.
We live and learn, right? And I've done a lot of research on this, and I've spent the past couple of weeks talking to Granite Staters all over the state. From every party, and I have come to the conclusion, and I want to be definitive on this: the election was not stolen. Was there fraud? Yes. Is that a concern of Granite Staters all over the state? Yes, there is. Is there a responsibility for public servants in elected positions to ensure that our citizens have faith in their voting system? Yes. But elections have consequences. And unfortunately, President Biden is the legitimate president of this country, and he is ruining it, along with Maggie Hassan.
Yeah, we get that. All right, so there it is. His rock solid, definitive. The election was stolen. However, over the past 3 weeks, I did some research, and as opposed to the year and a half that existed since the election, almost 2 years, I did some special research over the past 30 days. I have found that the election, in fact, was not stolen.
Super research, if you will.
Super research. Yeah. And therefore, I can say with 100% definitively that it is not stolen, except for when I go on this podcast 2 weeks after that date.
Okay.
Thank God you're a general, because you're stepping in when there's so many messes from all sides. I mean, I'm sure you're going to get in. When you do get in, and again, what is before I go ask you what you're going to do first? How's the election integrity situation in New Hampshire? Have you guys looked into stuff, cleaned up what you could? Are people working on that? Very important that everyone gets out to the polls in person on day. But what's it looking like there?
Yeah, well, we have a government integrity group here that's doing a great job uncovering stuff, which is good. We do have voter fraud and voter irregularities from the last election from 2020. The narrative that the election was stolen, it does not fly up here in New Hampshire for whatever reason. But what does fly is there was significant fraud, and it needs to be fixed. And the major areas are allowing college students, out-of-state college students, the ability to vote here in New Hampshire, not having your ID when you go in to vote, and signing an affidavit agreeing to go back later. Huge fraud.
I didn't know that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know about this primary, but last 2020 election, over 10,000 people came into the polls and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have my ID card."
No way.
Oh, here you go, sign this. And less than 400 came back proving that was them.
Well,
So,
of course.
we also have the machines that are suspect by.
All right. We
Good
don't.
Lord.
Yeah, we don't need to hear any more of that.
It's funny because you hear like
Here we go. This is his theme song.
I thought this was the outro to the podcast.
Yeah, that was it. That should be the theme song.
I thought that was on the computer.
Well, for whatever reason, I have done research, and I have found, for whatever reason, who knows why the narrative that the election was stolen doesn't stick in New Hampshire.
Fly.
It just doesn't fly here. So I'm singing a different. You know what's amazing too is like the image that the guy tries to. Listen, I'm a military guy. No nonsense. Okay, so let me be definitive. The election was stolen. In other words, definitively, the election was not stolen. Definitively, Joe Biden is the president, and by that I mean nobody buys the story for whatever reason that the election was stolen. Am I clear now? So what we got to move on to is keeping people from voting, thereby stopping the fraud.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, he's a total clown and he's an idiot. But this, like, the people that listen to this QAnon podcast, they are probably fine with him saying publicly that the election was not stolen and Biden is the legitimate president, just because they are trained to see like these mainstream media appearances as just window dressing. But we know he just has to say that, right? But the problem for him is that you already have those people. You already have those people who are going to vote for you. It's about getting everybody else. And that's why it was smart strategy to Pied Piper this guy's ass.